I remember reading in my baby book, the first movie I saw in the movie theaters was Ghostbusters 2. I remember growing up on the cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons, the real Ghostbusters. Obviously, I probably watched the movie when I was a kid, so I mean, it takes me back to 4 or 5 years old, just waking up every Saturday morning and getting a rat Slimer in the real Ghostbusters. I mean, the car just sticks out. It was an iconic car, iconic movie, cartoon. Growing up, it was that and the Ninja Turtles. So, I mean, I couldn't do a turtle van right off the get. I'm like, well, let's try my hand at something else. I would say the hardest part of the project was actually sourcing the car. You know, based on the research I had, there was only about 85 to 90 of these cars ever made. A lot of them, obviously, being it was from 1959, they got thrown in a barn somewhere in the Midwest, or you know, they're just in poor condition. So that was probably the most difficult part, just trying to source the car. It took about almost 8 years to find. I think it was its own character in itself in the movie. But I mean, I would scour the internet for days on end just trying to find a car we could turn into it. And found one, and you know, I talked to my wife about it. She's just like, it's your dream, just do it. And purchased it, and you know, the rest is history. There was quite a bit of work that went into the car. I mean, I spent a lot of days calling junkyards in the Midwest, trying to find the sirens and the beacon and the lights. So it was tough to find the back window with the curved glass. I had to find another '59 Cadillac. Found it in a barn about a year after I had gotten this car. And then it was about another 6 to 8 months of just sourcing parts and then fabricating the roof rack, because everything on top of the car in terms of ghost busting equipment is fabricated by a prop company. We had to make sure all the mechanics were good, which luckily it was. Kind of just a lot of photos from the internet and studied the movie over and over again until we got it perfect. I do think the adults get a little more excited. It's amazing to me how many younger kids know the movie because their parents have shown it to them. I get people asking me, you know, my kid tried the proton pack. Do you mind if I put it on? Sure, no problem. Go for it, you know. Yeah, so I'm married. I was a little unsure if she would still marry me with the ECTO, but my wife was gracious enough to actually let the ECTO make its debut at our wedding. So it was the first event that we had it at. I think we all kind of love nostalgia. I mean, you see people pay so much money for things they had when they were younger, and I had the ability to own something that reminded me of my childhood. We mainly use the car for charity events, fundraisers. We do car shows from time to time. We also do private events. October obviously is our busiest month, you know, Halloween and things like that. Last year with COVID, we didn't get a lot, and we didn't go out much, but we're up for anything. We'll take on any kind of event, big or small. We like bringing the car out. And again, I get a kick out of seeing people enjoy the car. Whether you're 40 or you're 14 or 10, it's a good time. People really enjoy it.
We're seeing damage all across New Jersey.
It's such a widespread flooding event.
As far as the eye can see, flooding, tornado damage after the remnants of Ida unleashed fury in our area.
And torrential rain doesn't even begin to describe the conditions that we are experiencing right now. And the conditions have been deteriorating all night.
You know, there was a lot of talk about rain that we're going to get, and I didn't think too much of it. You know, I mean, it's Jersey, it rains. You know, the next morning, September 2nd, it was a tough morning, to say the least. The car took about 6 feet of water, and the entire thing was submerged for, you know, who knows, a few hours at least. Brackish water piled up all over. They have to remove all of the seats, carpets, everything. When I first saw the car, I'm going to be honest with you, I broke down. I mean, I put years and years of work into this car. Forget about the financial end of it, you know, what it costs. It was just, the car means so much to me and so many people that have come across it. Looking at it, I didn't know if we'd be able to get it back to where it was. I mean, we had just finished it 3 weeks prior. Everything was good. That day we were supposed to do a wedding, the first event that we had. It was really hard. It was hard to see there. It was hard to be in that spot, seeing the car the way it looked. You know, being able to get it up and running as quickly as we did, and I mean, I was at that shop every day for the first few weeks. We had to take out the complete interior, the back, we had to take out the rugs, we had to take out the bench seats, we had to take out the equipment, and not just the back and the front as well. We had to take the fuel lines out, water had gotten in the engine, so we had to manually crank it, they had to dry vac it. Today's a good day, much better than September 2nd. Still a couple things that we have to work out, but overall the car's about 85% back to where it was. It's exciting to have it home. It's exciting to have it for Halloween. The amount of people that come out, drive by, it brings a lot of joy to a lot of people. Not for 1 second did I think I'd give up on this car. There was just too much that went into it, and for all the time and energy I spent getting it there, I knew I would spend just as much or even more getting it back to where it needed to